Hold on to your hats, folks, because the Dow just delivered a performance for the ages. We're talking a jaw-dropping 1,100-point surge, the kind of move that makes you sit up and take notice. This wasn't just a blip on the radar, it was a seismic shift, a market earthquake that sent shockwaves across the globe. And the reason? 2 words: China deal. For weeks, the market had been stuck in a rut, weighed down by uncertainty and trade tensions. But then, like a bolt from the blue, came the news that changed everything. The U.S. and China, after months of tough talk and tit-for-tat tariffs, finally struck a deal. This wasn't just any deal. This was a game changer, a sign that the 2 economic superpowers were ready to put aside their differences and embrace cooperation. So, what exactly did this magical deal entail? In a nutshell, it was all about tariffs, those pesky taxes that had been putting a stranglehold on global trade. The U.S. agreed to slash its tariffs on Chinese goods, while China promised to do the same for U.S. products. It was a classic case of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and the market loved it.
Why all the fuss about tariffs? Well, for starters, they drive up prices for consumers and businesses alike. They also create uncertainty, making it harder for companies to plan for the future. By agreeing to lower tariffs, the U.S. and China effectively removed a major roadblock to economic growth, and the market responded with a resounding roar of approval.
The tariff deal was like a shot of adrenaline straight into the heart of the market, but some sectors felt the love more than others. Tech, in particular, had a field day, with giants like Apple, Tesla, and Nvidia posting eye-popping gains. Why tech? Because these companies are heavily reliant on global trade, and tariffs had been eating into their profits. But it wasn't just tech that benefited from the rally. Industrials, materials, and consumer discretionary stocks also got in on the action, a sign that the market believed the deal would boost growth across the board. From Apple's iPhones to Caterpillar's construction equipment, it seemed like everything was coming up roses. Section 4. The art of the deal: politics and the market dance. Now, let's talk politics for a minute. Some folks might say that the timing of this deal, coming just months before a crucial election, was no coincidence. And you know what? They might be right. After all, a booming economy makes for a happy electorate, and a happy electorate tends to re-elect incumbents.
But here's the thing. Even if politics played a role in the timing of the deal, it doesn't mean it wasn't a good deal for the economy. In fact, I'd argue that it was a win-win for both the US and China, a chance to reset relations and pave the way for a more stable and prosperous future.
Absolutely. From the Chinese perspective, this deal represents an opportunity to strengthen economic ties and ensure long-term growth. It's a strategic move that benefits both nations.
Section 5. What's next? Riding the wave or bracing for impact. So, the market's euphoric, the Dow's soaring, and everyone's breaking out the champagne. But before we get too carried away, let's take a deep breath and ask the million-dollar question: what's next? Is this the start of a new bull market, or are we in for a rude awakening?
The truth is, no one knows for sure. The market's a fickle beast, and even the smartest analysts can get it wrong. However, one thing's for certain: the tariff deal has injected a much-needed dose of optimism into the global economy.
If the US and China can build on this momentum and address other sticking points, we could be looking at a period of sustained growth and prosperity. But if the deal unravels or new tensions arise, well, let's just say we've seen this movie before, and it doesn't end well. So buckle up, Buttercup, because the ride's far from over.